The scent of peace is something most folks never notice, but it's there, woven into the everyday. It's the crisp bite of mown lawns, the faint tang of pool chlorine drifting from a neighbor's yard, the smoky promise of a Saturday grill. For the past 6 months, I'd been soaking it in, trying to let it seep into my bones, to overwrite the stench of sweat, gunpowder, and dread that clung to my past. But on a muggy July evening in 2024, a new smell crept into my quiet corner of Willow Grove. It was the sour whiff of deception, and it was standing on my porch in the form of two men dressed as cops. One was lanky, slouched against the railing like he owned the place, his hand resting too casually on his holstered pistol. The other, shorter and jittery, clutched a clipboard, his knuckles pale as bone. He's the one to watch, I thought. The nervous ones always crack first. Mr. Ethan Waller, the short one said, his voice catching. We got a complaint from a neighbor. Suspicious activity. I just nodded, letting the sweat from my evening run cool on my skin, my damp t-shirt sticking to my back. My eyes locked onto theirs, taking in the details. Their badges gleamed too brightly, their uniforms too crisp, their sedan too clean for a county cruiser. I'd spent 15 years learning to spot the little things, the ones that keep you alive when a single slip means you don't come home. And these guys? They were off. It started with their boots. Not standard issue police gear, but cheap tactical knockoffs, the kind you'd grab at a surplus store. The leather was unscarred, the shine too fresh. Then the uniform's fabric too thin, a shade too pale. Their belts were flimsy, the holsters some nylon, junk no real cop would stake their life on. The car? Closed, but no cigar. No antenna cluster on the trunk, just the faint outline of a rental sticker on the windshield. My brain ran the checklist in a heartbeat. Boots wrong, uniforms wrong, gear wrong, car wrong. Then came the clincher. As the tall one droned on about keeping the peace, his eyes flicked not at me, not at my garage where I'd been lifting weights, but next door to the tidy little bungalow of DR. Nathan Bell, a mousy guy who seemed spooked by his own shadow. That's when it hit me. I wasn't the target. I was the distraction. My mind zeroed in on the one person in Willow Grove bold enough to orchestrate this charade. Claire Morton, the iron-fisted head of our neighborhood association. She ran this place like her personal fiefdom, and she didn't take kindly to a 6'3" ex-soldier who kept to himself and could outrun her morning jog without breaking a sweat. My name's Ethan Waller. Back in the day, my SEAL brothers called me Ghost for my knack for slipping through chaos unseen. I came to Willow Grove to leave that life behind, to let Ghost fade into the ether. All I wanted was solitude. But Claire, with her polished smile and ruthless streak, didn't like what she couldn't control. I snapped back to the man on my porch, pulling out my phone and angling it like I was checking a text. The camera was rolling. A complaint. I asked, my voice steady. From who? That's confidential, the tall one barked, trying to sound tough. Just keep it quiet. Folks want peace around here. Another glance at Bell's house, longer this time. Sure thing, I said, my thumbs swiping the screen. Mind giving me your names and badge numbers? For my records. The air turned heavy. They traded a look, a flash of panic in their eyes. Civilians were supposed to cower, not push back. The short one mumbled a fake name. The tall one just glared, his jaw tight. Thanks, I said, cool as ice. I'll follow up with the sheriff's office to show my appreciation. That did it. The tall one's stare could have cut glass, promising this wasn't over. They stalked back to their fake cruiser and peeled out. I stood there, the scent of fresh grass gone, replaced by the acrid tang of trouble. My war was supposed to be done, but it had followed me to Willow Grove. Inside, I locked the deadbolt, the solid thunk no longer a comfort, but a signal I was caging myself in for a fight. My kitchen became a war room, my mind slipping back into the tactical hum I'd tried to bury. Ghost was awake. I replayed the video I'd recorded, studying it 3 times. First, I confirmed the obvious. They weren't cops. Second, I watched their body language, the tall one's impatient weight shift, the short one's nervous face touching. Third, I zeroed in on the background. Through a gap between them, I caught it. A twitch of DR, Bell's curtain, He was watching, and he was terrified. I dialed the only number in my secure contacts. It rang twice before a gruff voice answered. "Don't tell me you flipped your kayak again, Ethan." "Trouble's biting, Tom," I said. "Sending you a video and a Plate, North Carolina tag. 7 characters. Run it, but keep it quiet." Tom Hayes, my old CO, didn't miss a beat. "What mess you in now, Waller?" Started as an HOA gripe, ended with 2 fake cops. "Check the video." "Stay put," he said. "Don't do anything dumb." I hung up, already planning to ignore that advice. In my closet, I dug out my Go-Bogger relic from my past life, now my lifeline. I pulled 3 tiny HD cameras, dark miracles of tech. One went in a tacky garden gnome, a welcome gift from Claire, now spying on her pristine tutor across the street. Another I hid in a maple tree, giving me a clear view of Belle's door and the road. The last covered my own perimeter. I was a target now, even if just a pawn in their game. By afternoon, my laptop showed a serene willow grove, kids on bikes, a mail truck rumbling by. But I saw the undercurrent. A black van with Swift fixed plumbing on the side pulled into Claire's driveway. 2 bruisers, not plumbers, hauled a heavy toolbox inside, staying 27 minutes before leaving with the same box. No plumber works that fast. At Belle's, fear ruled. Around 4 p.m., his door cracked open, a pale hand snatching the mail before vanishing. He was a ghost in his own home. Claire Morton sat in her sterile office, her phone pressed, so tight her knuckles blanched. The voice on the encrypted line was calm, chilling. "Your men failed, Claire. He's not what you thought." I checked his background, she stammered. "Just some ex-soldier." A cold laugh cut her off. "Ethan Waller, SEAL Team 6. You lit a beacon on our operation because you couldn't handle a guy with unmowed grass." Sweat beaded on her brow. "I'll fix it." "No," the voice snapped. "Stick to the plan. Keep the neighborhood quiet. The asset is acquired in 48 hours. If Waller interferes, our team handles him. And you'll answer for it." The line died. Next morning, I laced up for my run, craving routine amid the chaos. The air was heavy with dew. Then I saw my truck 4 tires slashed, deep, precise cuts. A pro's work, a message. "We can touch you." Fear? I didn't feel it. Just a cold fury settling in my gut. They thought this would break me. They were wrong. My phone rang as I reached for it. "Ethan," Tom said, voice grim. "The plate's a ghost shell company, dissolved months ago. One guy in your video's ex-ranger, dishonorably discharged, now a merc in shady circles. These aren't rookies." I glanced at Belle's house. "What else?" A pause, then Homeland and NSA are tracking chatter. A black market tech auction's imminent. The prize? An AI drone swarm system. The lead scientist vanished a year ago with the core code, living off-grid to finish it. My eyes locked on Belle's twitching curtain. "Name, Tom." He sighed. "They call him Sparrow." "Ethan, stay out of it. Call the sheriff." "Name," I pressed. "It's Belle," he admitted. "Let it go." I hung up, staring at my reflection in the truck's window. Tom was right, I was in deep. But deep was where ghosts thrived. I couldn't storm Belle's place. He'd bolt. Then, like a gift, his door opened. He crept out with a watering can, tending wilted petunias. He saw my truck, his eyes wide with pity and fear. I stayed still, letting him approach. "Tire trouble," he whispered. "Not just that," I said evenly. "Those men yesterday weren't cops. Were they?" He flinched, eyes darting. "I don't know, you do." I cut in, not harsh. "I saw you watching. You're scared, but you don't have to face this alone." His shoulders sagged, hope flickering. "Can we talk?" "Inside your place." I nodded, leading him to my kitchen. He clutched a glass of water, words spilling. "They've watched me for months, strange cars, vanishing emails. I thought I was paranoid." "Your work?" I asked. He exhaled. "I designed drone control systems. Project Starlink Swarm AI. Thousands of bird-sized drones acting as one. It could save lives, or in the wrong hands, render air defenses useless." My blood chilled. I worked for Omnicorp under DARPA, but they were bought by a shady group planning to auction my work. I stole the core code and hid here. "And they found you," I said. He nodded. "Claire Morton's one of them." She runs this place like a trap. He met my gaze. You weren't scared yesterday. Who are you? I leaned in. Ethan Gualir Exeal. I dealt with dangerous people in dangerous places. That's over, but I haven't forgotten how. Hope sparked in his eyes. Why help me? They brought the fight to my door, I said. That makes it mine. I stood. You're not going back. Pack essentials and clothes and the data. Every bite. He nodded, resolve hardening, and hurried out. When he returned, clutching a backpack, my house became a fortress. We turned the living room into a kill zone, funneling intruders through the picture window. Doors got heavy stops not enough for a ram, but they'd slow a kick. Blinds were slitted for sight lines. Mirrors came down to hide reflections. In the kitchen, Belle's brilliance shone. They'll cut power, he said. But if we rig the floodlights to a timer, they'll trigger after blinding their night vision. I grinned. Damn good, Doc. Let's do it. At 2 a.m., the power died, plunging us into silence. I whispered showtime. A thump hit the back door. A lockpick scratched the front. I melted into the shadows, ghost alive. Two men breached the front, moving like pros. One stepped into my funnel. I struck silent, swift tripping him, disabling him with a nerve strike. His partner fired, missing, exposing himself. I vaulted the sofa, disarmed him, and dropped him with an elbow. Outside, Belle's floodlights blazed, blinding the rear team. I slipped out, taking them down with a sleeper hold and a brutal kick. For down, silence restored. I knocked on the bathroom door. Nathan, it's over. He emerged awed. I called Tom. Package secure. For gifts wrapped. Cleanup time. Feds swarmed in, cuffing Claire as she glared venomously. Belle was whisked to safety, his work secured. Weeks later, Willow Grove settled. Claire's house sat empty, my truck fixed. I sat on my porch, the scent of grass back. I hadn't buried ghost-eyed, given him purpose. My duty wasn't war. It was protecting this fragile peace.